SGC here, and let's do this comics thing. Superior Spider-Man #1. Scotty on cover. Couldn't wait, so I read this first, and I must say, fully saw it coming. Yeah, don't know what's happening. Read last 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man and get caught up, and this is Superior Spider-Man. Good stuff, but totally predictable. World's Finest issue 8. Was gonna drop this title, but then Power Girl showed up, and she was more characterized, and I'm like, realized I forgot why I got this title in the first place, and I'm glad she's back. There's 3 artists on this issue, which is kind of strange, and I must say I'm really loving Cliff Richard's portrayal of Power Girl. For some reason, when I saw this page right here, I was like, I must get the original because it looks awesome. Look at that. All that Power Girl. Whoa. Fairest 11, man, Rapunzel, Feudal Japan, crazy stuff. And this whole like in the well thing, and it's just like eating my own hair, and it's like super creepy. How is she gonna get out of this jam? I wonder. Pretty intriguing. Not pretty crazy cover here too. And I'm really wondering where they're going with this. With her being like crawling out and everything. Wolverine and X-Men 23. Finally, this Frankenstein business is finished. Everyone gets back their memories and they start fighting all these clowns that are undead, and things just look awesome. I guess this issue and story was sort of essential to build up the whole Hellfire Club Mr. Dr. Frankenstein kid, but then I don't know, it was sort of a stretch for me to put so much emphasis on his character with 3 issues. And yeah, just glad it's over. Mind the Gap issue 7, more craziness stuff here. And last spread page, whoa, what's gonna happen now? Not as powerful or cool as issue 6, I would have to say. Though I'm interested enough that I'll stay for issue 8. But Mind the Gap, sort of like still on the fence for that one. Might drop, might not, sort of thing. Age of Apocalypse 11, the final battle. Hearing that Age of Apocalypse and Extreme X-Men and like all new X-Men is sort of like having a crossover, I'm sort of like, I don't really want a crossover. I'm liking the art. Every time I read this, it's like, I want to drop it. The story isn't that intense for me. The art saves it for my $3. So I hope sort of it doesn't really go into that crazy crossover, because I don't really like reading crossovers, because I mean, I get this title. I do not want to read like 2 other titles to get the whole story. For me, story is foremost. If like the story is good, I will stick with it, but not when I have to read 3 titles for 1 story. Peter and Panzerfaust 8. I don't remember when 7 came out. I think it's been like delayed or something, but I'm so glad it came out. With all these action scenes and just what's happening with Peter and the crew and like rescuing Felix, and then finally the ending and the introduction of a sharp character, I must say. Can't wait for issue 9. Legends of the Dark Knight. Crazy stuff once again. First digital and now in print. I'm so glad they're pushing this out, because it's 3 stories. One about Joker, one about like this dude that's bullied by Joker, and then there's a Two-Face story, which is pretty cool stuff because I haven't seen Two-Face around for a while. Yep, get reading these because they're awesome. Out of continuity, who cares? But they're short stories about Batman, which is pretty great. Secret Avengers 36. I think 37's the last for Rick Meter's run, and then they'll do a Marvel Now for Secret Avengers starting in March, February? But whatever. So pretty much it's crazy stuff here. I mean, like there's so much action going on left and right. It's just nuts. Secret Service #5. 1 more issue and it's done. I must say I'm sad that it's being finished. With Millar's stuff, I really think they can stretch it out a bit more, but then I guess, I don't know, he's too busy to do all the things that he's doing. But with Secret Service issue #5, action's ramping up. I mean, you got Kid who's just like helping his mom out, and then Uncle Jack's just doing his own thing, and then they team up, and just things go really out of whack. And it's like, Kid, what you gonna do now? That Infinite Vacation #5 of 5. $6. Pretty thick comic. I don't know how, I don't think there's like 60 something pages in here. I'm just guessing, but it's a big issue. And I must say for $6, it's pretty pricey. I mean, you got your double size, sure, give me 4 when the original comic's $3. The storyline, it sort of feels like this entire issue talked about the entire series, and pretty much if this was a one-shot, amazing. But now that you have 4 issues before this, it's sort of like, why? Well, at least this is finished and over. Thor, oh boy. Now there's more interchangeable stuff happening. Well, not interchangeable, but like things are throwing left and right of young, old, and present Thor. God Butcher is some intense business, and it's like more storyline is drawing out of him, so you know why he's doing all this and how he's doing all this. Rubik is off art for like 1 issue after this arc, but I'm glad to hear that Jason Aaron cleared it up and said that Rubik is back for arc #2, so that's amazing stuff, because like Marvel Now stuff is just changing artists and stuff, and I'm just like, man, it sucks. With this issue, once again, it was a good read and looks nice. Cable and X-Force. Whoo. Remember how I said I don't like the 26 hours before? Like, you throw me into the action and then you tell me how the action started and then you end with the action scene. Cable and X-Force, you started that comic like that and you continue with it, creating 2 timelines. And I'm okay with that, actually. With actual timelines, it makes sense, so I actually know what's happening here and then there. Though I really would prefer just one timeline because it's more like character development. I don't have to think that much. Yes, I don't really like to think that much when it comes with Cable. Though this storyline was sort of like kind of weak in the sense where, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't get it. Biggest thing that came out this week for me, Star Wars Brian Wood. Seriously, Brian Wood, it was more of Star Wars rather than Brian Wood drawing me this title. Taking place right after New Hope, it sort of builds on the existing characters. So there's no new characters, but new characterization. So we got Leia as an X-Wing fighter, which I must say it's pretty badass. Because, I mean, sure, she is a senator, but she can handle her own weight around the universe and stuff. Because, I mean, she does a lot of stuff. Killing and things in episode 2 and 3. So it's more of a character building and the art's pretty cool, and you got Alex Ross on the cover who's just amazing at drawing people posing. Pretty cool stuff. Though Darth Vader has some weird angles and this weird art that doesn't make him menacing but more like clumsy and doofy. Yeah. So beside that, I like this. I can't wait for more, and I wonder what will happen to this title once the Dark Horse like thing about Star Wars goes up at the end of this year. Like, would Brian Wood still write this title? So if you are concerned, you should pick it up. Don't wait for it to trade, sort of thing. Talking about Star Wars, one bigger thing I picked up for Star Wars, picked up this week, was Jaina Solo, Kotobukiya's Bishoujo's, but this time with Star Wars. So there you go, in her box. I still haven't opened it because I don't have space for her. So there you go, there's Shinya Yamashita's art. That statue is based off of. She is the daughter of Han Solo, and she has some force power because she's the daughter of Leia, and she's just floating that lightsaber. And it's in a black box, which is pretty different from the other Kotobukiya's Bishoujo's from the DC and Marvel line, but it is what Star Wars figures have been being put in recently. Also, speaking of Kotobukiya, I also got Huntress Bishoujo, and once again, Shinya Yamashita's art right there, and again, place to put her, so she's stuck in her box. And I also bought Power Girl a while back. Didn't post that up, just cause. Didn't know that I should do figures too. But anyway, like I always say, RX Comics is the place where you should get your comics. Address is in the description. That was my week for comics. I hope you liked yours because you paid for it. And RX Comics doesn't have a sale this week, but they still are running the yellow stickered stuff for toys. So check them out for sure. Because, I mean, there's some pretty crazy, really cool looking Spawn toys for like 10 bucks or 15. And it's... go get them, people. And that is all for this week's comics. See ya.